Good morning. Oh, I forgot about the fish. That's fine. It's okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. It's orc time, and the orcs don't stop until they're like, they just kind of don't stop. So I'm not gonna really waste any time. They're just gone. It's orc time. It's orc time. The orcs, the boys, the green tide. Also, never a big fan of this codex art. I always thought this codex art was really mediocre. I don't think the colors were really good. Too much yellow, not enough green. Beaky boys, bugs, stunties, pah. We know what you really want to hear about. Orcs, the meanest, greenest faction in the galaxy, is spoiling for a scrap in the new edition of Warhammer Lots. Let's see how you and your boys are going to be picking fights and winning them. So there's a fight brewing. The orcs are going to be there, and they're still one of the most flexible armies around. Want to run a big old horde of boys in Gretchen? That's a wah. Want to zoom with a fight with a road fleet of boondocka snaz wagon, shock jump dragsters, or mecha track scrapjets? That's a wah. Want to stomp across the battlefield in massive war machines like Gorkonauts and Morkonauts? That's a wah. And speaking of, army rule is wah. If your faction is orcs, once per battle at the start of the battle round, you can call a wah. If you do until the start of the next battle round, orc units from your army are eligible to declare a charge in the turn in which they advanced. Add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristics of melee weapons equipped by orcs. And orc models from your army have a 5-up invul save. Interesting. Okay, so the WA has been changed a little bit. This is a seemingly solid. No, this is a bit of a nerf, I think. This looks like a nerf. WA. So the WA has 2 versions normally. There's the WA and the speed WA. And the regular WA, it's advanced in charge, +1 in strength and attacks, and then a 5-up invul save. And that's exactly what we have right here, is the stage 1 section of the WA. The thing is that before you would have the big race, which was a WA that was really good for making the shooty version of orcs better. But there was a second stage, which was the second battle round, would give you a minor version of that ability. So this would lose the advance in charge, but you would keep the +1 strength and attacks, but you would gain a 6-up invul, not a 5-up invul. So in reality, this is actually a nerf. This basically gives you the first battle round variant and nothing else. No speed wall to change to, and no second battle round to get with. A little curious. In the beginning, my mind says that's disappointing because this is mainly dedicated to the crumping melee-based orcs, minus the 5-up invul save, of course. But at the same time, I always remember the WA being such a ludicrous power bonus, and suddenly the army relied on so heavily to even function that I wonder if maybe that their data sheets themselves might have been adjusted to make up for it. We'll see. As a rule, it's perfectly fine. As a rule, is a perfectly acceptable rule. It's very good. It's very potent. But it is unfortunate that it does not help your ranged attacks whatsoever, minus the 5-up invul. So we'll see. Ooh, excuse me. Experienced war bosses already know how to WA, but there are 2 changes you don't want to miss. For 1, this ability boosts every model in your army. No fooling about different keywords. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's every single model. Okay, that is very good. For 2, you kick off a WA at the start of the battle round, not in your command phase. So if you're going second, you'll get to use that invulnerable state to shrug off enemy. I did not realize it was a command phase. It is. Okay, that's good. Okay, so it's defensive, which is great, or can be. Okay, all right, that's pretty good. So the tribe detachment we have here is Get Stuck In, which is melee weapons equipped by orc models have sustained hits 1. I mean, that's very good. That is a very simple like statement where it's just a very, what's that meme of like the angry like British guy, whatever, who's like yelling at the camera and like getting all mad, and then the Giga Chad meme, you know, or no, what was the guy who's like explaining and writing on the whiteboard and stuff. That's like AdMech. You know, it's like AdMech with a saturation bombardment writing on the whiteboard, and then me just the Giga Chad simple of just like sustained hits 1. That's it. That's all it is. It's so simple. This is, I mean, it's so funny too, because this is like such a simple rule, but it's actually really good. Because until orcs get their codex, they have basically just given orcs exploding 6s in melee army wide, which is really good. It's really good. This is going to rip things up. And it's good that it's sustained hits too, instead of lethal hits. I'd much rather them have volume of fire or volume of stab. That's really, really good. Goddamn. All right, what do we got here? We got Beast Snagga Boys and Ghazghkull makari, Prophet of Dawa. So, the Beast Snagga Boys, the newest iteration of the boys, has a 6-inch move, T5, 5-up saves. Oh, a 5-up save. Is that so? I thought they had a T-shirt 6-up save. They did. 1 wound or the 2 wound on the knob. 7 leadership, 2 OC. They are infantry mob, battle line, Beast Snagga and Beast Snagga Boys, and they have a 6-up feel no pain. Do they now? Huh, interesting. They have Wa and Monster Hunters. Each time a modelless unit makes an attack that targets a monster or vehicle, you can re-roll the hit roll, which is very, very good. I believe they have a +1 to hit currently with the Beast Snagga rule. Beast Snagga. Beast Snagga gives them a 6-up invul save and a +1 to their hit. So instead, they swapped out the invul save for a feel no pain, which I guess is a bit more orky overall. And they have the re-roll instead of +1 to hit on monster hunters. Okay. They have the Slugga is a simple pistol that's same as a bolt pistol, but with a 5 ballistic skill, of course. Thump gun is D3 shots, 18-inch range, 602. I think it was 612 before. No, 61 D3. So lower AP, middle, like 2 damage instead of D3 damage. Cool. Melee weapons. All right, we've got the Choppa, the classic Choppa. 3 attacks at 511. 511. Really? Oh, wait, that's what it is currently. Oh, yeah, it's just built in with the +1 attack. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, that's the same thing. Keep looking at Ghazghkull. Close combat weapon standard is 2 at 501. I forgot that Beast Snaggas had strength 5. And then Power Snapper on the knob is 4 attacks at 712. And that's 722. So the Power Snapper went down by 1. Let's see here. Knob is equipped with a Slugga and Power Snapper. Beast Snagga Boy is equipped with a Slugga and a Choppa. So there's really no close combat weapon you would ever use. I don't know why they even have close combat weapon here listed, unless Choppas are going to start costing points. Maybe 1 point a model or something. Huh. Okay, interesting. I mean, these are Beast Snagga Boys, no doubt. I actually have very little to say about this. They move 6. Their toughness is interesting. Their save being a little bit better is actually rather interesting. Maybe it's a Beast Snagga specific situation. Feel no pain is great. Monster Hunters is a solid rule here. And yeah, I mean, everything else is about the same. I'm actually surprised that Choppas kept their AP. I'm actually genuinely surprised by that. Did not think Choppas would keep their AP, but I guess they do. And then the Power Snapper did lose an AP though. And it's still strength 7, which actually is a bit of a nerf in terms of vehicle killing. But yeah, I mean, sorry, I woke up a little bit too late on this one, so I'm a little bit like still kind of getting in the groove. This is really just what I kind of thought orcs would be. You see, I think Beast Snaggas were really good because they were decently priced and you could put them in things like kill rigs and stuff. Regular boyz, I always thought was too expensive because of their 8 points a model situation. T-shirt save and generally very bad overarching stat line. Save and everything, just like they died too quick. And the volume of fire of the game was so high. But as far as I'm concerned, beast snaggas look pretty darn solid. I want to read the part here. These trophy-hungry lads are great claiming, let's see, objective of hurting your foes, are deadly good at bringing down big targets. Monster vehicles better beware, even with how tough they're already. Well, I wouldn't quite say that. You can reroll the hit roll, but you can't reroll the wound roll. And, well, you're going to be wounding on 5s for the most part. So, maybe. All right. Ghazghkull. Mok Uruk Thraka, prophet of the Wa. So Ghazghkull is the boy. We always know big boy Ghazghkull plenty. Where even is he? Is he in the HQ? So I thought he'd be like a Lord of War. So Ghazghkull has the wound gating thing that he had before, which I'm assuming is going to go. I'll just go through it. 5-inch move. 5-inch move. Okay, so he's actually kind of slow. He lost 2-inch move. Wow. T6. Really? Lower toughness, huh? Huh. Interesting. 2-up save. That's fine. 10 wounds, 4 OC, 6 leadership. And then Makari is T6, 7 sub save, 1 wound, 8 T6. God damn it. Okay. Okay, that's a pretty decent nerf in terms of his toughness and everything. And his wounds are down as well. And he's not wound gated either. So he's actually quite squishier. Infantry character, epic hero. Yep. He's a leader, though. Okay, that kind of makes up for it. It seems like they're doing the same thing they do with Abaddon, where he's a leader. And so they're putting him into a squad. And by doing so, that's kind of where his ablative wounds come from. He's tanky because he's in a squad. That's generally the concept, I assume. So that makes sense. Makes a little bit more sense. That's why he's T6. He's still very tanky with 10 wounds and a 2-up save. He still has a 4-up invul save. And Makari still has their 2-up invul. Oh my god. Oh, wait, no. He might be way tankier now. Because Makari is part of the unit now. He's part of this character data sheet. They're together. And so once you start getting hit with attacks, you can just take them on Makari's 2-up invul save until Makari dies. And that might take... You ever fought a Dark Eldar Archon? And that damn field just will not go away? Oh no. Oh no. Never mind. I lied. Ghazghkull doesn't need wound gating anymore. Makari's doing. Holy shit. I asked for the real Ghazghkull. I said the real Ghazghkull. Perfection. Makari. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so fun. That's so orky. All right, prophet of the Great Wa. While this unit is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, add 1 to the hit roll and add 1 to the wound roll. That is a very good buff. That is a very good buff. They're going to be hitting on 2s and wounding on better. Wow. I want to know what it can lead, because you can say that with like a squad 30 boys. That could, if they get into, you advance their ass up and you hit the wall and they get stuck in, lads, that's going to really hurt. And then Ghazghkull's Wa banner. While a friendly orcs unit is within 12 inches of Makari, if you have called a Wa, this battle round melee weapons equipped by that models have lethal hits. So you get lethal hits for the battle round you call the Wa. So you get sustained hits, lethal hits, +1 strength, +1 attack, advanced and charge of 5 of invul save. Good lord. Good lord. Good lord. Okay, his weapons. Mork's Roar. Let's see. 36-inch range, rapid fire 4, 12 shots at 501. What is it right now? It's 511. So it loses an AP, which is fine. But it basically has what's DACA. So DACA is basically a shitty way to describe rapid fire, a worse rapid fire at the time. Now this is just the way rapid fire is. So it's nearly identical, just -1 AP. Melee weapons, we have Gork's Claw, 6 attacks at 14-3-4. Gork's Claw here is 5 attacks, unless he gets wounded, at 14-4-4. So it loses a pip of AP, and the strength is technically worse against vehicles, fine against everything else because of the changes to toughness. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. It's still Gork's Claw. It's still going to rip things apart with a 4 damage and an AP 3. And then Makari's Stabba, 1 attack, hits on a 4-3-0-1, devastating wounds. I love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Just accidentally rolls a stick with the Makari's Stabba. Boop, mortal wounds. That's actually way, 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 way worse than the prior one. The prior one was 2 attacks, and a 6 would do D3 mortal wounds. But it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Wow. Okay, this is proper orky. Goddamn, proper. I can't do a good orc voice. I'm sorry. He's slower, he's less tough, and he's got fewer wounds. But good God, him having Makari attached to him is insane. Absolutely insane. And then after that, after you're done with Makari, you have to go through Ghazghkull's invul save, toughness, and wounds, and 2-up armor. So this is great. This is Ghazghkull looks pretty good. He's definitely toned down a little bit as a model. He doesn't give any rerolls now, which is crazy. But they did say they were trying to reduce the amount of rerolls, and this is so far showing that off. And yeah, he still hits very hard, and he's got good buffs overall, just different buffs. And he's still going to be very tanky. You have to probably eat through 30 boys, a 2-up invul, and then Ghazghkull. It's going to be very hard to take him down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ghazghkull teared them all to shreds with Gork's Claw, and the Prophet of the Great Wa, his bodyguard of Mega Knobs, gets even shoppier. Oh, Mega Knobs. Okay, so maybe, hopefully it's not just Mega Knobs. It could just be Mega Knobs. It's still be plenty tanky, even if it's just Mega Knobs, so we'll see. Weapon Spotlight. Orcs have plenty of technical expertise. Thank you, GW. The mechs cook up loads of different weapons, from shooters and sluggers to scorchers and snaz guns. So we have the Def Cannon. Let's see, 72-inch range, 3d6 shots, 5s to hit, 14 3d6. Good Lord. Wait. Good Lord. I accidentally closed my my tab. That's a Gorkanaut though, right? Like that's like the giant 600-point ridiculous weapon. Not a Gorkanaut. Is it a Morkanaut or is it a Stompa? Stompa. Super Gatla Big Shoot. Ah, there it is. Def Cannon. Yeah, okay, it's a Stompa. Okay, that's fine. 3d6, 10, 4d6. Oh, it's not quite the same. It's -1 AP and better strength, but you know, vehicle strength, equivalency, that whole doodads. I don't even know really why they wanted to show off the Def Can. I kind of would have preferred if they showed off like just like a boom, like a rocket launcher or like a stick cannon or whatever they call those things, or like a boomdock, a snazwagon weapon or something, you know. That's certainly still a Def Cannon. It is a lot of shots, blast is better, and it still hits plenty hard, just with lower AP. Good God, it's powerful. Like all orcs, these giant walkers are even better at killing stuff up close and personal with his advanced Mega Choppa technology. Those appear on ice with nothing but chivalrous scrap. The Mega Choppa. So right here, it is strength 20, AP 5, and 9 damage at 6 attacks, or let's see, 10, 2, 3 at 18 attacks. So it is still 10, 2, 3 at 18 attacks, a bit of a nerf because of, vehicles and stuff, or 6 attacks at 24, 5, 10. So actually a buff in the damage and a slight nerf, like the teensiest, tiniest nerf. It'll be a nerf against vehicles at toughness of 13 and 14, but other than that, it's basically the same. Yeah, this is going to just absolutely annihilate everything in sight, which it should for a almost 700 point, basically a third of your army model. Like, this looks ridiculous, but they're showing off the Stompa. The Stompa here has 40 wounds. So, like, you know, if it's going to be the most ridiculous thing on the planet, like, yeah, they're going to show off the Stompa. So, big, crazy orc. Oh, yay. Okay, cool. The Warkachuk Squig Buggy. The Squig Buggy was a classic case of things that ruined the game because of indirect fire for a while. Let's see what we got here. Blast, ignores cover, indirect fire. D6 plus 6 shots, hits on 5s, 5, 1, 2. The blast is going to give him a little bit extra, so it's 5, 1, 2. So instead of 5, 2, 2, and 2d6 shots. So it's minus an AP, but it is d6 plus 6, so it is slightly better in terms of efficiency for your number of shots. And it is, blast is of course better. It ignores cover, which is, I gotta be honest, Games Workshop, you know, you made us a little bit happier with the fact that you changed up the indirect fire and how indirect fire works, and how they always get cover and your -1 to hit. But then you give us like ignores cover on 2 of the indirect weapons, the Exorcist and this one, and it just makes me feel weird. I'm sure this won't break the game. It's only 1 AP. They're gonna be hitting on 6s. It probably really won't make that much of a difference. Even so, my guy, come on, my guy, my man. This is still pretty good though. Good damage, still fine AP. AP1 is perfectly fine. And yeah, that's still pretty good, I'd say. More efficient. And last but not least, orcs are never beaten. Fight phase. Select your enemy unit, select its targets, 2 CP. Let's see here. Orcs community select as a target. One or more enemies attacks to the end of the phase. Each time, one can just destroy if the model. Okay, so it's fight on death. It's fight on death for orcs army wide, which is very, very, very good. 2 CP though, so that's still a bit pricey as an overarching stratagem. But I mean, it's orcs. They love to fight, and making them fight on death is very, very good. Last but not least, we have Here We Go. It is even lumbering orcs can put on a surprise turn of speed when the promise of a good face-to-face fight is offering. Start your movement phase, 1 CP, orcs infantry unit from your army until the end of that turn. Add 2 to the advance and charge rolls made for that unit. That is very, very good as a stratagem. Because it basically adds 4 inches to your movement. If you are especially calling the WA, that'll make you just fly across the battlefield with an orc infantry unit. Really, really quick. Okay. Orcs are often viewed as a crude blood instrument of destruction, and although this remains true, they are still a faction requiring a cunning mind to bring about that infamous brutality. It's what percent of their army rule, which offers orcs the chance to get stuck in, all proper-like, while also being a considerable defensive tool that players can use to keep their forces alive long enough to wreak havoc. Backed up on their data sheet with army-wide sustained hits and melee, rapidly find your orc boys who have AP1 on their choppas will really bring the pain. Characters, some of which might not have been given a look in the past, such as the reinvigorated Pain Boy, have really given orc players plenty to think about when assembling their green tide. As for the great green prophet himself, Makari remains a lucky runt with his retinue garb. Ghazghkull, keeping him safe with an attack profile that's sure to make orc players wah with joy, especially when being backed up by a block of mega knobs. I have read Brutal Cunning, and I have read Ghazghkull, Thraka, Prophet of the Wah. Brutal Cunning is very, very good. I'd say it's the better of the two, but the Prophet of the Wah is also very, very good. Written by Nate Crowley, who wrote what is it? Twice Dead King, the Necron book. It's still good, both very good books. I'd say that Brutal Cunning is a bit more orky though. You get a bit more of the orky shenanigans going on there. It's pretty great. Okay, I'd say that orcs are doing pretty well. I will say there's probably going to be some upset people with the loss of some rules. The loss of the second round of attacks with orcs, the get stuck in phase of the WA is unfortunate. But as GW listed out here, the fact that you call it from the battle round is really, really good. and it's also army wide, no pittering about what's what, which is also, I'd say, very, very good. It is unfortunate that the orcs do not get a shooty buff from their army rule, but I guess you could still argue that their 5-up invul save is enough to keep them mostly okay. And I'm pretty sure most orc models have some kind of melee to begin with anyway. It's just like, do you want to go more into shooting? The next one, Get Stuck In, is just really, really good, dude. The sustain hits one on the orc army wide is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's very good. Lots proper killy. Beast snaggas look quite solid. Their 5-up save is actually really interesting. I wonder if Orc Boys normal will be getting that. I don't think so, but it is rather interesting. Feel No Pain as well to go along with it. The Makari thing on Ghazghkull is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So we'll see how that turns out. And, you know, the Stompa looks really good. Problem is the Stompa is not going to be taken in most games, so it's kind of hard to determine about their other profiles based on the Stompa alone. But the Squig Buggy is looking quite solid as well. Always a little bit scared by indirect fire when that comes out. Always just a little bit frightened, but we'll see how it goes. And these 2 stratagems are very, very good. They're not eating as well as custodians are, in my opinion. This is a perfectly fine, just a solid preview. The loss of Here We Go is a little unfortunate. I will say rerolling charges as orcs was very, very good. But I won't lie, maybe a hot take here. If the game is getting less killy overall, as in thing like regular weapons no longer have AP1 and there is fewer shots across the boards, I think that orcs that themselves will actually benefit from that quite a bit. At least that's my personal opinion. I'm imagining they probably won't keep Ramshackle, and because that's just, they've been taking out a lot of damage reduction stuff. So we'll see how it turns out at the end of the day. But I think orcs are often a product of how the game is right now. And because of that, like when the game is really killy, orcs struggle. When the game is very melee focused, orcs do well. Like orcs kind of live and die by the meta, by how things are going as an overarching above ground look. And I'd say we'd have to kind of wait and see to really determine how the orcs are, because orcs do and did win quite a lot of tournaments for a while in the competitive scene. First, it was free Buddha plane spam, which was removed quite quickly. Then it was basically the classic Goffs kill rigs and just murder you in the face list, which is still quite good list today. So we'll see how it turns out overall. But if I'm not mistaken, we have had our Imperium Xenos, which means next should be Chaos, and I will assume that it will be the Thousand Suns tomorrow. Let's see. Don't forget your Warhammer adventures on the. Wait. They didn't show. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You didn't say the thing? Oh, my man. Gosh darn it. All right. Well, all right. Here's me calling it Thousand Suns tomorrow. There's my guess. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. I'll see you all later.